What's up, YouTube? Haven't been around for a while. We've had a few things going on personally, plus a little bit of non-engine action happening as well. So we've had a few weeks off, obviously, or actually a couple of months now. Time flies. But luckily enough, I was given a phone call Wednesday before our last meeting on Easter Sunday, and to drive the Pitcher car, the 55, and forever grateful for that, because it just, you know, just with our situation at the moment, it's just great that people are thinking of us and that they're prepared to let me drive their car. So massive thanks to Micheal and Sonya and their crew. Big Baz as well for helping out before he had to jut off. But and thanks to Mason for lending me the car to drive. You know, I'm glad, you know, it's all in one piece, and yeah, just happy that we had a good night with it. You know, Micheal and Sonya just give me everything that I needed, no questions asked, and yeah, really happy with that. So, you know, the night started off pretty good. We, our first heat, we had to start rear field all night too, because of the fact that, you know, we're a late nomination, and yeah, so 34 cars, I think it was, 36, whatever, heaps. Luckily, I'm sponsored by a tear-off company, so Speed Vision, thanks very much for that. Yeah, we got through our first heat with a few dropouts and stuff, and ended up fourth, I think, across the line. And then our second heat, I'm not sure really where we ended up, but you know, we might have passed a couple of cars. Anyway, we qualified 16th in the feature. The first time we went out, the car was awesome. Then we decided to make a few changes. Well, not a few, but just a couple of little ones, thinking that the track was going to do something, and it kind of didn't. Then we thought the track in the feature was going to do something even more so, and it didn't again. And I think I'm a bit rusty. I didn't read the track. I didn't read what the other classes were on the night. And, you know, we just missed it a little bit. But between Micheal and myself, we learned a heap about the car. And I learned a little bit about myself and driving, and just pretty keen to get back into the 95 to rip it. Hopefully the Tyre Bill series next week. You know, seeing as though hopefully we'll get our engine back. So anyway, here's the video. It's not much. Well, I lost the GoPro and then found it yesterday. So there's no onboard footage, just Susie with her camera and or a phone, and just a bit of the Claper View stuff. So here it is. Just a bit of a shout out too for people that have been reaching out to us. Just seeing if we're okay and that. We're fine. Just had to, I don't know, you got to knuckle down in life sometimes, and unfortunately Speedway is just a hobby. But you know, going back on the weekend on Sunday night, it was just awesome. I mean, the meeting too, it was killer. The track was awesome. The atmosphere was great. It kind of felt like pre-COVID days. It was awesome. The midgets were wicked. And yeah, it was good fun to be back. So hopefully we'll see you next Saturday out at the track at Tyre Bills at Murray Bridge, and we'll go from there.
All right, we're ready now. The pace quickens. We are set for Heat 2 of the wingless. Will it be Vickers or Alexander that gets the jump here? I think it's going to be the latter as they storm into turn number 1. Oh, gee, Vickers gets a bit sideways. Tapley gets over his inside front. And the concertina effect. We've ended up with a couple of other cars. Melissa Crouch and one other driver has spun the car. I would dare say trying to take evasive action.
The 98 as well. So everyone's A-OK. We're back for the restart.
Yeah, let's try it again. Can Hayden Vickers in the Lewiston Haulage 98 make a better fist of the start here? Alexander trying to work the top side of the speedway. Now it's a drag race down the back chute. Oh, it's wild and wingless sprint racing here. Alexander, I think, is going to gain the upper hand. He does gain ascendancy as he powers his way into 1 and 2. Back behind him, Hayden Vickers now looking a little more comfortable in the Lewiston Haulage 98. The action continues between Evans and Tapley for 3rd and 4th respectively. G. Tapley giving Dan the man just a little bit to go on with there on the main straight. We all know the right rear generally will win out over a left front any night of the week as they storm through and click off another lap. The 55 of Racing Mason Merritt. He is looking pretty racy in this one, currently running 5th. Here comes the battle for the lead. It's a slider. And he gets it done too. What a move from Hayden Vickers in the 98. Jesse Alexander coming back at him. And now Tapley getting right into the fray as well as we approach half race distance. He must have been getting the word that the speed cars were cutting a few sliders. And old Haydos, he wanted to get in on the act, Phil.
Yeah, he certainly did. It was a good move, actually. He really threw it in. He committed early. The leader is Vickers. Alexander putting a nice run in the 84. Tapley, Dan Evans, last night's feature winner up at Renmark. And the yellow lights are on. We've got the Prez up against the fence. Back in a race car. Of course, a former South Australian 360 sprint car champion. Former Northern Territorian wingless sprint champ. As we go back to green. Our leader is Vickers. Have a look at Tapley. Got by Alexander on the bottom. Snooked him there on the restart. Tapley running around that inside groove. You talked about it earlier. Mason Merritt looking a lot more racy here tonight in that 55, all over the back of the 44 of Dan Evans. As we cross to the back straight camera, there's Mitch Glynn, Melissa Crouch in the 7, racing wheel to wheel. But out in front in the Lewiston Hawleys, number 98. Parrott Family Racing Machine. Hayden Vickers, Dennis Tapley. We go back to Alexander and Mason Merritt. Working the high side of the racetrack through 3 and 4. There's our runner-up at the moment, the 47 of Anthony Tapley. On screen, there's that battle further back. There's Mason Merritt, Micheal Glynn. That's where the action really is right now. Mid-pack with 1 to go. Leader down the back straight away, looking quite comfortable. Hayden Vickers in the 98. He'll get the win over Tapley. The battle further back is not over. Alexander will get 4th. I tell you what, Mason Merritt will get there for 4th. What a great run from the 55. Just edged out Dan Evans. As our official placings are up on screen. Vickers, Tapley, Alexander, Mason Merritt with a nice run on the top side of the speedway. Gets by Evans and Glynn. So there's our official placings for heat race number 2 of our wingless sprints. I'll try to catch up with our heat winner after a short break.
Can see the 33 is out there, Lachlan Evans, and also the 55 of Mason Merritt. So anyway, the attrition rate a bit of a factor here. A revised starting grid as I have a look at it. Matt Kennedy looks like he's moved up a couple of rows, was due to start 5, make that pole position here. You've got to be happy with that. As we go green, Melissa Crouch on his outside. It's MK that grabs the lead. Nate Truan in the 58, already making his presence felt. These drivers trying to move up to that high line and rest on the cushion. Truan to the inside of Crouch. We look a little further back, we can see that Evans is in 5th. Micheal Glynn in that VX37 in 4th place. Oh, the Nate dog looks for an inside move. Can't do it. Glynn now goes back past him, so he's on the bottom. The rest of this field pretty well running the high side. Oh, we've got a spinner there in 3rd place. And we may well be under caution. So that is the 37 of Mitch Glynn. The VX 37.5 lose, which threatened to cause a fair bit of chaos there around that end of the speedway in front of our VIP suite. It looks like at the end of the day, Racing Mason Merritt, he had to take evasive action. I think we may have a replay on this one. Let's see exactly what happened here. See, he was just in the slick part of the racetrack, so didn't quite fully spin the car, but gee, it was awfully close. You see there, look at it, it's almost come around on him. He's just gathered it up. Gee, Dan Evans, he was up against the fence there. And we can't see it, it was just out of shot that Mason Merritt jumped on the anchors to spin his race car as well. All right, so they're rolling around 2 laps in the books here. Matt Kennedy for Pro 4x4. Leading the way from Melissa Crouch in that South Australia 7. Nate Trewin now moving up to 3rd position. Dan Evans, the Riverland racer, there in 4th. Tucked in behind him, Anthony Tapley. Hayden Vickers. All right, we're ready now to get stuck back into this one. The orange cone restart. You cannot pass anybody prior to that point. And we are back underway here. Matt Kennedy, desperate for a heat race win. Here we go. Trewin with a big move. It's not a slider. He just hugs the bottom. He's found something there. The shorter way around the speedway. He does slide up track here, coming off turn 2. Let's see if he drops to the bottom again here. Most of these competitors are trying to run the top. And he's not losing any speed. If anything, I think he gained on our leader by dropping to the bottom of the speedway. So Kennedy leading. That 8 dog, Nate Trewin, in 2nd place in the 58. A little further back, we got Melissa Crouch from Dan Evans. And Evans has got Tapley sniffing at his rear nerve. And Hayden Vickers now, after an earlier heat race win, he's starting to go to work on Tapley. So half race distance, it's Kennedy, your race leader, as the Nate dog works the low line off turn number 4, draws level with him. We got a real race in our hands here.
Yeah, the Chicken Nugget slides on by the 21 of Kennedy. And Kennedy fights back on the inside. Good battle between these two on the racetrack right now. Nate Trewin to the bottom side of the racetrack, and he's got the spot back as they head down through turn number 1 and 2. Can Kennedy get back? No, he can't. Leader is Nate Trewin in car number 58. Kennedy in the 2nd spot in the 21. Then we go back to the 7 of Melissa Crouch. Then it's a 44 of Dan the Man Evans. Then it's a 47 of Anthony Tapley. It's a great race. Evans now tries to slide by Crouch. Pulls up. Whoa, just got it done. And look at Tapley now right in the back of the 7. Will Tapley try and slide by Melissa Crouch? He's working the bottom side of the racetrack. He might go by both of them as he gets a good run out of turn number 2. Tapley, Evans, Crouch, checkered flag is out for Nate Trewin. 2nd will go to Kennedy. 3rd will go to Evans just. In a great battle for 3rd. But Tapley will get 4th. Melissa Crouch got shuffled back to 5th in the end. Hayden Vickers, and then it's actually Andy Thomas driving the S55. It's listed as Mason Merritt in the program and on my laps, but it is actually Andy Thomas. Mitchell Glynn, Lockie Evans, and Tyson Martin failing to go anywhere there in that particular heat race. But what a great battle. Nate Trewin.
30 plus cars to put the thing as far up into this field when you consider there's quite a few experienced campaigners that have not managed to make the show tonight in this class.
No, absolutely. And Sam Martin, of course, a heat race winner, and he's only back on the 5th row. That's how tough the competition was here tonight. So 20 laps up on the counter for the wingless sprints. Out of turn number 4, Joel Heinrich will lead them to green. Into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time in the field. Thunders through 1 and 2. We got issue up the front of the field. Nucky and also Tapley. Or is it the 58 of Nate Trewin?
Yes, Nate Trewin. He was lucky not to Chico roll there coming out of turn number 2. And he is livid.
Animated inside the race car.
He's not happy, Jan. As he gives it a quick blip of the throttle, and he's going to have to park it up here.
Oh, the chicken nuggets are done.
Oh.
Flat left rear.
Yeah, he's not happy whatsoever. It'd be great to see a quick replay. Look at him. He's already unbuckled and straight out of the race car. Here it comes for SRV Road Freight. See them bottling up here. It's coming together. Nucky drifts up track. Oh, he's ridden the right rear of Daryl Nucky. Tapley got caught up in that one as well. There was more push and shove ensuing from there.
That's right here. You can see him inside the car. A couple of left jabs at the old dashboard. And not happy, Nate Trewin. Wow.
There's disappointing first lap to be out of the contest like that, especially when it's so tough in qualifying, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So we'll try this one again. Joel Heinrich on that front row. Bring them to green. Now we have Anthony Tapley alongside him with the demise of Nate Truen. Back underway. Through turn number 1 and 2. Everyone trying to find their own little piece on the racetrack right now. Oh, Nucky, oh, contact and up and over. A big one on the back straightaway. That's Caleb Evans, and that was a nasty ride. Wow. About half the field is involved in that one. And let's hope the young Caleb is okay, because that was a big ride on the back straightaway.
Onto all fours. And he's moving around. I think he's going to hop out of the race car. That's a great sign, please. A big round of applause for this young man after a big, frightening wreck in turn 3. Gee, you'd almost be forgiven for thinking our U-Pullet Demolition Derby started a fraction early here. Some of the shenanigans that we've been witnessing in trying to get this feature off and running. Very racy track here, and we certainly need to tip our hat to our track curators. They've done a wonderful job. Pretty warm here over the past couple of days.
So now has been Troy Frisbee leading the team, actually a former wingless sprint racer himself.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job. Well done to him and team. Anthony Tapley, the 47. He's got the whole shot there on Joel Heinrich. Can we get a lap in the books here? Darryl Nucky just dropping a spot. He's back to about 6th place. Matt Tyler pretty well placed. Back there in 4th, trying to move up. Matt Kennedy draws alongside him. Heinrich now straight to the top side of the speedway. It's all Anthony Tapley. Heinrich sizing him up. They're up there flirting with the top. Kennedy, a few meetings back, he was the one on the high line, but this time round he's running the shorter line and doing it to pretty good effect at the moment. Just takes a little bit more throttle control. Heinrich dives down to the pole line as well. Tapley, oh, he chops him off, chops the nose going into 1. He said, I don't think so, Joel. And now the trend seems to have changed a little bit. Few of them dropping to the bottom in 1 and 2, and a bit of a mixed bag through 3 and 4, but it's Tapley, a race leader from Heinrich. Then it's back to Kennedy, followed by Hayden Vickers having a pretty good run. Then Matthew Tyler, he's in 5th position. And with 15 laps remaining, this is a very interesting contest.
Yeah, Tate Cowie has brought on the caution down there. The gentle spin. In the top through 1 and 2. So different lines at different ends of the racetrack. Perhaps suiting different cars. There's Heinrich straight to the top in 1 and 2, as he had been prior to that caution. As I predicted earlier, McCarthy on the high side in 1 and 2 now. Joel just running the top through 3 and 4. A little different tactic for the 16. Running in that second spot, trying to wind up the rubber band, the momentum on the top side of the speedway. Tapley also around the top through 3 and 4. Around the bottom is Vickers, and he got it to work nicely, the 98. Picked by the 21, although Matthew Kennedy trying to get it to work on the outside. No, so he's up to 2nd. Make that 3rd now. Is Hayden Vickers in that 98. An impressive run right now for our leader, Anthony Tapley, last time by. In fact, Joel Heinrich, fastest lap of the race at 15.148. So Heinrich now switches to the bottom in turn number 3 and 4, and he might get it to work. No, the momentum on the top. Heinrich now to the bottom in 1 and 2, tried the slider. Didn't look as good down there that time, JC.
No, it didn't. I've just been watching the Jack attack. Jack McCarthy as he rounds up Darryl Nucky. He is on the move here. The car, it's wanting to push on him around the cushion, but he's persisting, as you said. That looked better that time. He managed to break the right rear loose to negate the want of that car to understeer on him but it's all Anthony Tapley. He certainly hasn't forced Joel Heinrich into the tap-out position just yet. And look at the Jack Attack. He's now up into 4th position, if you don't mind. He's only got 9 laps remaining here. Could possibly do with a caution. So your running order, it's Tapley from Heinrich, Alexander doing it really well in 3rd, from the Jack Attack 4th, Matt Kennedy back in 5th. But as we look at the times, let's have a look this time round and see what McCarthy did a 15.1 last time. This time, I think again, a 15.1. So he's clearly one of the fastest on the track. He's got past Alexander. He's now up into 3rd. Heinrich starting to get a little bit impatient here with Tapley. And I tell you what, if we happen to get a caution, Jack McCarthy will be right back in the mix, and he might even get there without it.
Jack's praying for one right now. Caution would really make this race interesting. Oh, Tapley got a little squirrely up there on the cushion. Heinrich is starting to close. So too is the 23 of McCarthy, who will run out of laps. I think unless the yellow lights come on, the battle really is up front between Tapley and Heinrich. Out of turn number 4. Heinrich is right there. That time by Tapley was the fastest car of the race so far. In fact, Jack McCarthy goes better. So the track is actually getting faster. Oh, we've got a car in the wall. It's Tate Cowie. So the caution that we were praying for, JC, has come with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, but it's come out just as Joel Heinrich was set to slide your race leader. It was the worst possible timing for the caution from JH's perspective.
Yeah, now Tapley knows that Heinrich has got a fast car on the bottom side of the racetrack. As you say, the worst possible situation there for Joel. But I tell you what, this is the best situation for Jack McCarthy.
Heinrich. That'll be one of those moments, I think, he'd be thinking to himself, does somebody just say KFC? As they roll through 3 and 4, the Jack Attack sitting back there in 3rd. He could be the man to watch here. This is going to be a beauty. 5 laps remaining as we ignite them back into action. Look at that. Tapley straight to the bottom. This is what Heinrich is after as he sails around the outside and picks up the lead. Tapley, he's going to slide up track here. Can't hug the low line. And Joel is now clear. The Jack Attack back behind them. He's there in 3rd. What's he going to do? Is he getting set for a possible slide job attempt, or is he going to bide his time on the high line? We've now got 3 remaining as Heinrich looks the goods with about a 6 to 8 car length advantage. Tapley now appears to have just edged away from the Jack Attack. His run may have stalled with only 2 circulations to go.
Yeah, Heinrich has blown this race open. He's the only driver in the 14-second range. He went 14.65 the last time by, so Heinrich has saved his best to the back end of this race. He threw it into turn number 3 and 4. This time by to be 1 to go. He absolutely has stolen this race late after with 5 to go on that restart. Went past the 47. And from then it was smooth sailing for Joel Heinrich. Out of turn number 4, checkered flags, a wave to Joel Heinrich.